Yes, we are ready to go live. We are ready to go live. Come on, IG, go live, baby. Yes. All righty. We should be live in both places. Welcome. Yes. It's the Liberated Pussy early morning poppin'. Good morning, good people. Good morning. It's your girl Adina. I'm here with my girl Monique. You see her in the shadows. You see our conservationist love in the shadows. Smile, Mo. You got to keep smiling so we see your teeth. Smile, baby. She's here, y'all. She's here.
It's so funny, yes.
Yes, we are here. We are moving through it all. Monique,
Yes.
Monique, are you down with LPP?
You know me. I'm down
Hey.
with LPP. All right. Yes.
Just reminding folks, LPP is the Liberated Pussy Podcast. And so we are here, your two favorite liberated pussies, and we want to talk about summer solstice today. So we're going to get into the magic of what that is, how we are intending to use it, and let's have a conversation about it. So as we get started, I'm going to just do my quick introduction. I am your girl, Adina Gittens-Smith, the goddess of magical movement. I am the co-founder of Belly Dancers of Color and the founder of Goddess Technology, which is a beautiful opportunity to wake up into your goddess power. I work Goddess Technology with my beautiful sister here, Monique. Monique, smile so they can see you. Yay, there she is. We've been working Goddess Technology in our weekly sessions and in her mystery school called Follow the Sun. It has been a beautiful experience over these last 9 months, working with women to wake up our power and to actualize this in a very practical, everyday way, in a very real way. Like people will say, I'm into reality. Well, sis, I'm into creating reality. I'm into the reality that I create for this life, because what we know is we're the only game in town. It's our world. Hey, it's our world. So let's make it work for ourselves. Yes, that's what we do. And we're going to Bali in 2 weeks.
Yes.
In about 12 days. We'll be on the beautiful island of Bali, a culture that is set up. Kenya described it as Africa pre-colonialism. So the whole environment, the air, the food, the energy is in alignment with what we're doing. So we're excited to do this work across the world, because we know as we do it in one place, we do it every place. So that's me. Hey, hey, hey. I'm turning it over to you, Mo.
Yay, Adina. Okay, cool. I am Monique, also known as the Moon Mama. I am the founder at Follow the Sun, where I have built a community, built spaces for women to come in and do the work to heal. Um, I also am an astrologer, a life coach, and my vision, my life is devoted to helping women remember their magic, their power, their awe, their wisdom, and then bringing that to their everyday lives, supporting their families, their communities, their work environments, themselves, in living a life that is anchored in magic and understanding that there is so much more beyond what we actually have been taught or what we actually believe. And the more that we can open our minds and hearts to other perspectives that actually live within us, we can become something that we just dreamed of being. And that's the work. And so I'm really excited to be here with Adina. We facilitate Goddess gathering together every Thursday. Like she said, we're on our way to Bali. We're taking a group of women to come to Bali to explore their magic. Very exciting. It's very exciting. So let's have a solstice conversation. I'm ready.
Solstice conversation, playing in your magic at this beautiful time. It's a portal, at this beautiful portal time, to remember yourself as God, Goddess, to remember yourself as the creator of your life, to practice it, to renew yourself to your goals. What does that mean? What does that mean? Monique, talk about the astrology before we hop into the solstice, because the solstice is an astrological
Yes,
event.
it is.
So talk
Absolutely.
about what's happening as we move into the solstice, which this year is going to be on the 20th, which is Thursday,
Yes.
June 20th.
So the astrology right now is, I hadn't even, we are, we have a lot going on. Like we just had, yesterday we had Mercury and Venus in conjunction with one another at the 0 degree of Cancer, which was a really powerful energy because the solstice is a Cancerian thing. It's when we move into the summertime.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the highest point of the year when the sun and the earth are in the for the for this hemisphere, because it's not for the, I guess it's the northern hemisphere.
Mm-hmm.
um, so we're moving into summer, and we just so happen to be in a new cycle. We have been in a new cycle for like the since the year began, let's say it that way. And what we're having is all of the personal planets are traveling very closely with the sun. So, meaning Mars, Venus, and Mercury. Those are the personal those are the personal planets that move the quickest, and they are traveling with the sun through the constellation. So we're getting upgrades. We're getting light code upgrades to become new, and we're also moving into the age of Aquarius. This process is not a one size fits all. It doesn't happen instantaneously. It's a gradual process.
Mm-hmm.
It's the way, the way we watch night turn to day. Like if you, yeah, like how we watch the day gradually turn into night, right? Like it just doesn't go from, being daytime to night all of a sudden. There's a gradual process that occurs. The universe is gentle like that. So this process of us being upgraded is a gentle process. So with the sun in Cancer, going into Cancer, we're moving into summer. We're going to have Mercury in Cancer, which means that our minds are going to be focused on ourselves, our inner world, how we feel. Cancer is a very emotional energy, water based energy, devotion. So now we get to devote our minds to our own way of thinking. We get to devote our Venus, our sensory system, to a new way of thinking and feeling, and the sun, our personalities. And so, what this is with Cancer, it's our family. It's our family of origin. It's um, it's our inner story that makes us who we are. And so, this energy is being rebooted. We're in a
Mm-hmm.
new cycle. We're going into the age of Aquarius. So it's really an opportunity to let go of all those old family dramas and stories about what your mama didn't do and who she ain't and what your daddy didn't do and he wasn't. Like, it's time for us to come to a space where we literally honor our parents because we are alive and we're breathing. That doesn't mean that we need to be in deep communication with them, or it doesn't mean any of that. It just means
Mm-hmm.
that you honor the porter for what you've come through.
Ashe.
And the other thing that is really important that I see at a time right now as I work with clients, it's if we are going through really interesting experiences in our romantic relationships with co-parents, or people that we have children with, it is very important that we harmonize ourselves, because when we are at odds with our spouses and partners and exes, and we have children with them, that our children are running that
That
opposition.
frequency. Yeah, they're running it.
That's right. And
Mm-hmm.
so we cause interference in the systems of our children's, because we are not at peace with with their fathers or their mothers. And it's a lot of work, and I get it, but you have to really desire something more for your legacy, for your children. You have to want your children to be freer than you were. You
Ashe.
have to want that for them. And in wanting that for them, you will be compelled to do the work that actually frees you and them. so that you don't just pull them into the same cycle, because it's a whirlwind. And if you don't heal those emotions get trapped in your children's bodies, and they will be 35, 45, 55, 55, still working on the stuff that we didn't heal in our own system,
The same patterns.
the same patterns. So
Yes.
that
Yes.
is what the astrology offers as we move into the solstice energy. And so that's it. Thank you.
Yay. That's so beautiful. That is so beautiful. So think about it, everybody. You laid with those people. We laid with those people and brought these spirits to the planet. These children chose us to be their parents, to come through us.
Yes.
And it would behoove us to be a part of moving the evolution of our human families and our human stories forward. And so how do we do that? Let's take responsibility for our shit, heal that, and then the children will take responsibility for their shit and heal that. But let's not pile upon them stuff that they didn't necessarily create, they came into.
Yeah, and it's interesting right now because we're living at a very different time on the planet, right?
Yes, we are.
So we are healing stuff that we came into. So
Yes,
sometimes people feel like, well, I'm doing it. How come they don't do it? And
right.
that's all good. I'm not saying,
But it's like when you know better, you do better.
Right,
It's like
exactly.
each generation did what they had the awareness to do.
That's
And
right.
so you'll be called to do what you have the awareness to do. And so what you just mentioned is so plain to say that the relationship you have with the mate that you created life with,
Yes.
that's very root. That's very, I mean, we all sit right there.
Yeah.
And if you have the intention to create harmony, to be at peace, because we also talk about us being in the peacekeeper phase right now, which we know is a Batala energy, is God energy. Find that internal peace and get the lesson from your trigger. We always talk about that. If we thinking, well, he did this or she did this or they ain't this and they ain't that. If you created life with that person, you created a lifetime relationship with that person by creating life with them. And even if you don't speak with them, be at peace in your heart with them, so that you're not. And we understand that that's work, and we understand you might not know how to do that. And that's why we do what we do, so that we can heal personally, and those around us and those who are called to this work can have a body of women, goddesses, sisters who are also doing it. So we create our own vortex of power to change the energy that is flowing around these relationships, so that our children are further along. We want them to be further along. Each generation is standing on the shoulders of those before.
Yeah.
So that's amazing. That's powerful. Thank you for coming on.
You're welcome. One of the things that I'd like to say, because I understand being an upset with people that you have been in romantic relationships with, but I always try to remember why I like them.
Right.
Why did I like them?
Yeah, what was the deal? How did we do this?
Because I actually laid down with you. So there was some intrigue, some desire, there was some, because we know what it takes for us to lay down with somebody.
Right.
Your body has to be involved in it.
Yes.
There's physiology that is occurring. There's an emotion that so what was that
I was receptive to you at one point. Where is that energy?
That's right.
And it doesn't have to be the same type of receptivity.
That's right.
But it can be a receptivity of peace.
That's right.
Of peace.
That's
of creating what you want in your children.
For the sake of my child. For the sake of my child. Like it's really something you don't want. It's like I don't want my children internally choosing between me and their father.
Yeah, that really breaks my heart, because I see that up close. I have a situation in my family that's very close to me, that I'm seeing that dynamic play out, and it's very hurtful. It's very hurtful to the children. And then the children, what has happened in this particular situation, the daughter, it's a daughter and a father, created a physical thing in her body because of the disconnect. She physically chose to be with her mother. She felt like she had to pick a side.
That's right.
When she was little, she was such a daddy's girl. And so now she's 15 and she's gorgeous. And they haven't talked in years. Although he wants to, he's reaching for her. She is not open to it, because she made a decision that she was going to side with her mother.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, wow, wow. So that's something karmically that will be healed. I know I'm sending love and water on that situation and positive energy on it because we love her,
Yes.
because of her break with the father. Then she hasn't seen the whole other side of the family,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
So that hurts. It hurts beyond what we can see.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes. Woo! I can
Yeah.
feel that. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I have sadness on that, but I am sending, like I said, I'm sending love to
Yeah.
it. I'll do some ritual on it during this solstice too. In fact, her birthday is coming up. Her birthday is next week, and she was born in 2009. I think she'll be 16. So
Mm. Mm.
yeah, so 10 years to not see that baby. That's a lot.
Wow. That's a lot. That's
Hmm.
blessings.
Hmm. Thank you for that.
So you're welcome. You're welcome.
Hmm.
So I love the solstice energy bringing in the light to
Hmm.
the dark places.
Ashe.
Cancer rules the breast and
Hmm.
the stomach.
Hmm.
So it's for women. You want to talk about how the breasts really are a channel for us?
Yes. And let me say this, the situation I'm speaking about, the
Hmm.
baby is a Cancer, the father is a Cancer, and the mother is a Cancer. That's a whole lot of energy.
What?
That's
Wow.
a whole lot of emotion. So I understand how deep the hurt goes and how deep the energy goes. But as you just mentioned, the breasts are for the women, like Adara talked about this a couple of weeks ago, how the breasts are for us our positive pole. We can actually
Yeah.
draw in energy and we shoot out energy from our breasts.
Hmm.
And so we want to be very conscious of that and very conscious to put love on the titties,
Yeah. Hmm.
ourselves,
Hmm.
appreciate the breasts
Hmm.
for what they are, how they nurture, how
Hmm.
they support, how
Yeah.
they've been with us since puberty.
Yes.
They
Hmm.
are beautiful, and they're more than just nourishment physically, they're nourishment energetically. And
Yeah.
so when we tap into that breast energy as women and we know that, and as we walk out with our shoulders back and our titties up, we're
Yeah.
sending and send out love from them titties. Send out like pew, 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 pew.
Yes. Well, they really are in the heart space.
They
That's the thing,
are.
right?
That's the yum,
Right.
that
They really are the connection. They are.
the
They're.
breast, the
Yeah.
arms, the hands,
That's
all
right.
of that is
That's
an
right.
extension of the heart,
That's
the
right.
breast, all of that. And so as
But
we bring into us, yes.
it's really a thing, like to understand that we are the whole cosmic system, right? So, Cancer is the breast and the stomach, Aries is the head, Taurus is the neck, Gemini is the arms and the hands. You know what I'm saying? Like Virgo is the lower gut.
Yes.
So we are this walking constellation. We are these
Hmm.
realities, and so when we understand how that the constellations are moving through us, then
Hmm.
we can embody ourselves as the divine, as the
Ashe.
creative power, even more so than we have, because we've just not had awareness of how that really shows up in practical ways.
That part, growing up without the awareness of what you actually are,
Oh,
that's been our experience. We've grown up without the awareness of what we actually are. What we have the opportunity now to do is to understand what we are and to actually get involved with it from a power position,
mm-hmm,
shifting, understanding that your thoughts matter, what you say matter, what you watch matter, how you talk to people matters, how you talk to yourself matters,
yes,
because you literally are creating it. You
that's right.
literally are creating it. Someone, as I'm seeing the comments on IG, hey girl, hey girl.
Mhm.
And she's like leaving financial debt behind. Exactly. Like there's some things that we're just transitioning out of when we were talking about the transitioning of Mercury and understanding the light code. Someone else says they
Mhm.
took a doula class, and the whole first class was about the intention before conception. It's powerful. But if you weren't consciously mindful of the intention during conception or before conception, you can be consciously mindful now. Don't feel like you missed it. Don't look, oh
Oh,
God, yeah, you were unconsciously creating, but now we get to consciously create. So use it. Don't feel like you missed it because you haven't. At whatever time you wake up to this, it's for you. Right now, we're getting ready for this solstice. It's a powerful time to wake up to this and start using your magic, your battery, your energy. your power for you.
Yes. It's really important to know, like, the thing about Cancer also is in opposition to Capricorn, and Capricorn governs time.
Mhm.
And Cancer is your inner feelings. And so, gosh, there is no time and space, right?
Mhm.
So we are the whole collection of what we've ever been, right?
Mhm.
You are the embryo that you were in your mother's womb still exists. The little
Mhm.
girl still exists. All of
Mhm.
that. So, I oftentimes will, when I'm working to do work, to like shift patterns in my life. Just recently, I remembered when I was 8 years old, hearing a preacher say something like, the sins of the father are passed down for generations.
Mhm.
And I heard that as an 8-year-old
Mhm.
and thought, oh, like I felt like
All
I'm
that shit my daddy did. Oh no.
right. So then as an 8-year-old, I'm like, when I look back, I'm like, I'm gonna be the one to fix it. I'm
Mhm.
gonna be the
Mhm.
one to change it. Like a warrior 8-year-old
Mhm.
child. And
Mhm.
just recently, I just went back in my memory and said to the 8-year-old self, honey, you do not have to do that.
Mm-mm. It's good.
Release that. You can let, and literally my body is unwinding.
Mhm.
I created
Mhm.
something in my system when I
Mhm.
did that
Yeah.
when I was 8 years old.
Yes, I
And
feel that.
isn't that something?
And it's so powerful. Like the things we did as because we knew our magic as a child. And so you
Yeah,
were listening to him with an open heart and really took that on, feeling like that was so.
yeah,
Your family valued the church experience, you valued it, and you felt like it was yours. One of the shamans that I work with says that you can call your ancestors back to clean their stuff. Like as you become aware of it, call them back, like granddaddy, daddy,
yes,
come get this. You
yes,
left this shit here, and you're in a place now where you are nothing but love and light. Bring your love and light, shine it back here, and fix this shit in the family.
yes,
Fix your
yes,
shit. So I
yes,
call them back, like, listen, because I got my own agenda and I'm standing on y'all shoulders. Come back and fix it. I honor you. I'll make an offering, whatever. Come
yes,
fix your shit. Come get it.
right. That's really something. It really is a real thing.
Mhm.
And it's, as long as I've been doing this work, I hadn't really, it's been so ethereal. It's
Mhm.
been so, in the subconscious. But what I'm beginning to see is that that's the process. It moves through those ethereal realms, through those light bodies, and then it lands in your physical body.
Ashe. It really does.
It really lands in your
Yeah.
physical body. And
Yeah.
so what you believe, what you think, how you
Mhm.
talk to yourself,
Mhm.
how you took on your narratives around what your family, indoctrinated you into. Like,
Mhm.
so my family indoctrinated me into Christianity,
Mhm.
whatever it is. Sometimes our families indoctrinate us into caring for all of our siblings. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like,
Mhm.
you got little girls who are responsible for, or little boys even, because my
I mean,
brother,
that's that oldest child thing. Like I'm the oldest of my father's children. So
right?
there's an aspect of that when you're the oldest, you feel a responsibility, and I
Right.
did that with my sons. My oldest son, I'm like, listen, I made them for you. You know what I mean? Like, but not to the place where you got to care for them. I'll care for them, but I
Yeah.
want y'all to be connected. I want you to have a relationship for life. And I'm
Yes.
thankful that they do. All three sons they really do love and honor each other, you
Yeah.
know.
So it's really something for us to, you know, take inventory of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's important that we would begin to teach our children early to start
Mm-hmm.
taking inventory of their lives. When they
Mm-hmm.
get around 9 or 10, like, how was your year?
Mm-hmm.
What are your intentions? Like really
Right.
starting those kind of conversations.
Right.
What's your mission? What are you up
Mhm.
to? What was
Mhm.
good about this year for you?
Mhm.
That really helps get that brain in line to be consciously creative,
Yes. So it's
responsive.
not just about school, it's not just about A's and B's. It's really not.
Right, right.
Because if you think about how school is set up today, and I have a master's in education, y'all. So I
Mhm.
did this education thing full out. And how school is set up really is to just make people workers in the current paradigm, set you
Yeah.
up to be an employee, set you up to respond to bells and stuff, set you up to be the mouse in the maze. It's not really setting us up for power. But as parents, because we know, again, we're in a society, folks are working and things like that, and you need to put your kids someplace while you are doing your part in the maze so you can pay for your house and your car and all that stuff. Whatever you can do outside of that to expand the consciousness of yourself and your children is good. That is what will create the new earth. That is what will create a new society, a new paradigm, so that we can shift this. It might feel too big to shift, like, oh God, I got to shift all of this. No, just shift. Start with you. Start with you and your immediate circle. Start there, and you will see it. It's so powerful. It's so real.
It really is. And I think that's really important what you're saying, Adina, that you really do start with you. And it would, as you start with yourself, it will grow. Like, people will begin to see you shifting. People will begin to, it's not even about that. It's just, that's inevitable. If you start with yourself and really become devoted to yourself.
Right.
And be willing to meet your own needs and curious about your own needs.
That's so beautiful. Meet your own needs. I know, as a woman, especially a Black woman, and my grandma was born in Mississippi in 1926. It wasn't about her needs, meeting her needs. Her needs, it was like needs, whatever, eat and go sleep somewhere and get back up and serve these people, take care of this and take care of that. It was about, and she was the oldest of her 9 siblings. So it was not about her needs at all. So now, to understand that your needs are important, your needs do matter. I used to feel guilty when I wasn't working out, and even working around the house or doing something. I couldn't rest at home because there's always stuff to do.
Yes.
And then feeling a way about just being.
Yes.
So I know I put a post up last week about Black women and the revolution of resting. Resting is so important. We need to chill and be, so you can even hear. You can't even hear what spirit is saying to you if you're always in motion, and especially in motion on stuff that is so far away from who you are, because you don't know. You haven't spent that time to develop that relationship and get clear within yourself. So resting is paramount. It's paramount.
Yes, it is. You can't say it enough. How much resting is important.
Resting is everything. I want my sisters to rest and love on themselves and be in beautiful places, eating beautiful food, making beautiful love, adorning yourself with fragrant oils. And really, that is a part of the goddess consciousness. And resting your mind, resting your heart, resting your spirit, resting your voice, resting it all.
Because your system runs hot when you don't rest. Like, you literally are a computer, whether you think you are or not. You are a computer. And that mind is always running your software. And if you don't rest, you don't have the opportunity to see what's valuable and what's not. One of the things that I have become so aware of, and I meant to share this with you yesterday, Adina, I forgot, is that we are in a time on the planet right now where we are changing direction. Where the systems are breaking down. We're watching our systems break down. And we're young, vibrant women, people, you know what I mean? Like, there are, what I've studied and understand and I learned in my studies of cosmology is that you really aren't even an adult until you're 50 years old.
So we just got grown.
We just got grown. And there's this country where there's this one job. You can't even apply for the job until you're 90 years old.
Oh, wow.
You happen to live in a culture that values youth, because people who are young don't know shit.
That's it. And they can tell you shit. They can program you.
They can program you. They can convince you, right? So most of us have been through the programming, and we are experiencing dissatisfaction. We are in the throes of deep dissatisfaction. So in that, you have time. Don't give up. Don't surrender to it's too late. It's not too late. Because if you're 50, you could live another 50, 60 years. And what are you going to do with that time? I remember when I said to myself, I was like, I got a lot of hard work to do, but I was
Mhm.
maybe like 42. And I was like, well, you're either going to do it or you're going to live with it not being done. You have
Right.
choices.
And then that's where the sickness comes in, because some folks think that on the other side of 50, oh, it's just time to break down and get ready for death. It's like, I mean, and it could be if that's how you decide to do it, or it could
Right.
be the time for massive expansion and preparation for your ascension, you know.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
you die, you don't even have to die sick and all this other kind of stuff. Like, we have this idea of what it is to be quote unquote old. It's like, no, because we're timeless. We've been here since the
Right.
beginning of time. We just get
Yeah.
to transition into a whole nother situation. How do you want to do that? You can decide when you want to die. I heard one person saying this too, that all death is suicide. Like, you actually decide to die at some place in your spirit. And
Yeah.
so how do you do it? You're going to get a sickness, you're going to do this, you're going to create an accident from the anger,
Yeah.
those kinds of things. Or you can live your life fully manifesting what you came to do, and then transition when you decide it's time for you to have your next experience. Your spirit is going on to its next journey.
Yes. And this is why we need information.
Ashe.
I have experienced two people coming to me saying that they were ready to go, and I
Mm.
watched them walk out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, I watched them have conversations with me, and then within 3 or 4 months, they came back, and now they developed an illness,
Mm-hmm.
and then the body deteriorated, and within 2 to 3 years, they both walked out of here.
Yeah.
And at the when that happened, I was shocked. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, because first of all, because I was very close to both of them,
Mm-hmm.
but now, looking back, I understand our power. And
Yes.
they created the reality they desire. And
Yes.
they did so intentionally. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
One of them at the end of it wanted to kind of backtrack, but there was too much momentum in the
Mm-hmm.
experience. So it couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but we can create as much life as we desire, and we can create as much death as we desire because we're that creative.
With that creative. Whatever you say, universe says, your wish is my command.
Your wish is my command.
Yes.
Abracadabra.
And so that's what this summer solstice is about, is getting clear about what your wishes are. So
Yeah.
you're not creating unconscious wishes. Like, again, I was talking to one shaman, and he was talking about someone who had manifested an illness. And I know this may be triggering for some people, because they say, no, they got it because of this, or they had this because of that, and blah, blah, blah. But it's like, okay, I understand what's physically happening. Let's look at the emotional, energetic, spiritual causes for why you are having this experience.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at that. I know Kenya even talked about that as a young woman. She contracted, I believe, uterine cancer, or
Mm-hmm.
some female cancer,
Yes.
and she was in her 20s. And what spiritual counsel said to her was that she didn't want to be a woman. Like, her archetypes ran a lot of masculine energy,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why her energy in her body was literally attacking her female organs. So she had to get clear on that. She
Mm-hmm.
came back from stage 3 and 4 cancer, and they told her she wouldn't have any more kids, she wouldn't do any of that, and she went on to have two more children, and
Mm-hmm.
live, and she's thriving, she's no
Right.
cancer, she moved through it.
Yeah.
But the story will tell you that you can't. You
Yeah.
have to get clear on, are you going to go with that, or are you going to create another story? Are you going
That's
to do something different? You do have the power, but like you said, the momentum is the thing. What are you
yeah.
going to do with your momentum? What are you going to do with your energy? So
Right.
here at summer solstice, we have an opportunity to pull into Peacekeeper, your God Goddess energy. Pause, clean up your diet, listen, rest,
Yes.
and then step out
Mm-hmm.
anew.
Absolutely. It really is.
Mhm.
Abracadabra. I mean, we are abracadabra, abracadabra. And the more we do the work to heal and
Mhm.
realign our systems and take responsibility, we just become highly creative. Like,
Mhm.
you think something and it happens. And
Mhm.
it's, you know, now I'm in this place in my life where I see the creative power. I can see how I was working against myself. I can see how I
Yes.
was my own worst enemy. I didn't
Yes.
even know. I
Yeah.
didn't know what I didn't
Oh, you
know.
saying it was somebody else. Somebody did something for you.
Right.
And you're like, oh, it was me.
It was me. It was so me for real.
I
It's
ain't
it's
mean to do that.
it's and our system is set up to promote ignorance.
Yeah, it
Our
is.
systems are set up to keep us, you know, in the in unknown uncertainty. But we are creators, and there
Mhm.
everything can be known. There is
So let
no
me ask you this, Mo.
yeah
Why did we create our systems that way? How does that serve us
because
now?
we've been in the dark ages,
Hmm.
and
How did the dark ages serve us?
well, the dark ages served us because the creator wants to have all experience.
Hmm.
The creator wants to have the experience of Hitler.
Hmm.
The creator wants to have, see, we have to understand that this is all a big game.
Hmm.
None of this is real. Like, as
Hmm.
humans, like, think about when you see, and not to be dismissive, but like when you see a colony of ants, you understand, you have a bigger purview than the ants do,
Hmm.
you know? And there is a, this is all a game. All the cycles, it all comes back around, and none of it is new under the sun. These bodies, we drop these bodies and come back in another body. Like, none of this shit is personal.
Hmm.
None of it.
Hmm.
But we take it so seriously.
Yeah, like change. So that's the perspective part helps a lot when we can get a proper perspective. I like the ant view. So you're looking down on the ants whole little,
Mhm.
little dirt hill or
Right.
sand hill that they create, and they moving along, marching, carrying things 10 times their weight. And but we can see it all. Like you said, they can't see it. So the creator is looking at us that way.
Yeah, that's
Look
right.
at them little people down there
That's
just
right.
wilding out over that silly shit.
That's right. That is absolutely right. Making up all sorts of things. And so when we understand that, you know, the work is to, my work has been to see like, oh, I'm stuck in a perspective. I'm stuck
Mhm.
in a very small perspective.
Mhm.
Huh. Because there's this greater perspective that is way more than what I think. And then how do I get my perspective? How do I chisel out a greater perspective? How do I
Mhm.
make my
Take the
how
blinders off.
right? How do I do
Mhm.
that? You know?
Mhm.
And that's the work.
That's the word. Well, that's beautiful.
Mhm.
That's beautiful. You mentioned Mercury and Cancer and
Mhm.
being emotionally based, and Venus giving us a new way to access our sensuality and our feeling. At least that's how I heard it.
Yeah.
How can we utilize that as we are spending time in this summer solstice energy? And so for people to know, when we think about what solstice is we're coming to a place where the light will stand still for a period of time, and
Yeah.
then the days will start getting shorter. So from the winter solstice, the days got longer and there was more light on the planet. And so
Mhm.
then what's happening is the time will, stand still for a bit, and then the light will start slowly getting darker as we move down to the fall equinox and then the winter solstice again. So
Yeah.
that's the cycle of light here
Yes.
on the planet that we're all subject to. And we have largely been bopping around, I would say, the last 5,000 years, kind of oblivious to what's
Mhm.
happening. But time before that, the planet and the people who lived upon the planet were very in tune with that. Like, we went
Yeah.
to Egypt, we saw how the pyramids lined up with the light. You could be in the pyramid in a certain time of day, the light is
Mhm.
coming right in to shine on a certain hieroglyph, right at the perfect time. All of this is like, wow. And they made these whole structures around the sun
Yeah.
so that it's the light is generated a certain way. So what do you think about that? What do you think about us really harmonizing during this time of the light standing still for a period of time?
Yeah.
I think they said the longest day will be around July 3rd, and then the days will start to get shorter. And
Yeah.
it's gradual. It's like a
Yeah.
minute a day,
Yeah.
not it's not like,
Yeah.
oh God, it's gonna be dark tomorrow. No, because it's still summertime, but we
Right.
know that's what's happening.
Yeah.
It takes time.
Yes. I am in awe
Mm-hmm.
of what we experience here. Like, sometimes I'll just talk out loud and be like, whoever created this perfect clock,
Mm-hmm.
because it is perfect, and I'm in awe of it. And so,
Yeah.
and I just really want to understand it, and I want to participate in it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh wow, the light is growing. What does that mean for me? And
Mm-hmm.
how can I use that? And what am I doing? It's like, oh, I'm taking more light in my body.
Mm-hmm.
And oh, really? What does that mean? I'm taking in more light in my body. Oh, well, my thoughts are creating light or darkness.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so, and then that's impacting my gut, and it's
Mm-hmm.
impacting my lungs. And it's like, it literally is like all disease is the lack of light.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, so it fascinates me.
Mm-hmm. And how about we need both? Because again, our society has taught us to shun the darkness. Like,
Yes,
oh no, it's all light. Like, no, we need darkness
yes,
and we need light. Like, if it was light all the time, it'd be no life on the planet.
that's
If it was
right.
dark all the time, it'd be no light on the planet. We need the perfect balance. It's perfect
Right.
how it works.
That's right. And it's the physics of it is that there is dark matter. Like, there is more darkness than there ever will be light because
Right.
the light comes from the darkness.
There we go. That part. And there's light in the darkness.
That's
Like,
right.
all you got to do is look in the night sky. It's all black and you see them stars.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
It is the darkness is the creator of all. Like, everything comes from the dark.
Right.
And so the ability to make peace with your own shadow, your own darkness, the ability to accept yourself is the key to all of this.
It's
Like,
everything. The
like,
shadowy places,
that's
huh?
right. You
Mm-hmm.
must, you must, you must accept yourself. Bring, you must know all aspects of yourself. And,
Mm-hmm.
the parts of yourself that, the parts of yourself that you put away, you have to know. You don't
Mm-hmm.
Everybody don't have to know, but you have to know.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't be in the dark to yourself in any way.
Right. In denial
Yes.
about things. And then, the other thing is we're going to be awake to the things that we have the capacity to be awake to.
Mhm,
Like the
mhm.
lessons that you're not ready for aren't going to be present for you. But if
Right,
it's up for you, then that's what the work is. Like, deal with what's up.
right.
And then the next thing will happen. Like, you can't, like, I know I talked to you about this before. Like, sometimes at least in my mind, I think I want to skip steps. I just want to jump there, but
Yeah,
you can't. You gotta walk it out. You gotta be where you at, and you will get to where you're trying to go.
that's
But
right.
be where you're at and do what's present at that time.
And it really does make a difference. It
Mm-hmm.
it builds upon itself.
Mm-hmm.
It is like that, the shell, like the life is a coil, a spiral, and it really does build upon itself. And it's, like we were starting earlier, here we are in this Cancer season. when women are when women are born, they come with all the genetic DNA for every child that they might have and that they won't have. It's
Mm-hmm.
in them,
Yeah.
right? So
Whew.
whatever your work to do is, it's in you to do. It's You were born to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's showing up in your system, if fear is showing up in your system, or like you are in relationships where people are unfaithful, that's because it's your work to do.
Mm-hmm.
If you have health challenges, that's your work to do. If are really creative and highly, you know artistic, that's your work to do.
Mm-hmm.
So do it.
Do it.
Do
Do
it,
it.
and
Do it.
then
Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it, baby. Do it.
do the
So let
work.
me ask you, since we're talking about doing it, what are you doing to honor this summer solstice energy? How are you honoring it this season?
I
The next
haven't.
4 days, I would say. So the 19th through the 22nd. The actual solstice is the 20th, folks.
Yes. So right now we are in the leading phase of the moon. And what I am doing, my intention is to come into harmony with the masculine and feminine aspects inside of me. I've been working on this. As you know, you and I have been working on this together
Mm-hmm.
for, did we start doing the rap A together a year ago
We
at the
did.
park? Right,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. Because we started in Gemini season. So, um, so for all of that time, I have been really working to get my mind and my body in alignment with one another.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel the alignment. I feel the key locking in. It's taken a year to do it. It's taking
Mm-hmm.
a year to
Mm-hmm.
do this work. and I feel it at a profoundly deep level. It's amazing.
Wow.
So my work for this solstice is to like come into full acceptance of what's possible and
Mm-hmm.
what it is that I'm up to. And so I will do some juice fasting, some
Mm-hmm.
tea drinking, some rituals, some practices, some ancestral work.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've been spending time with my niece, my niece is my grandmother reincarnated. I don't say it that much.
Mm-hmm.
She is my grandmother reincarnated. Just before my grandmother died, she said Teresa, who was her daughter, she said Teresa's gonna have a daughter that's gonna sing for the world. And then my grandmother died, and then 10 months later, no, a year later, then Teresa gave birth to Taylor,
Who
and
sings for the world?
sings for the world. so
Nice.
so it's so I'm just really like that little 8-year-old girl that was like, I'm gonna do this for the family.
Mm-hmm.
We gonna let her be like, we done, we finished, we made it.
Mm-hmm.
You can relax and
Mm-hmm.
now I get to be this person. I get to
Mm-hmm.
help other women heal deep traumas from their families. You know what I mean? I
Mm-hmm.
get to do all that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm gonna be focusing on. How about you?
Nice. Nice. That sounds amazing.
Hmm.
So, peacekeeper energy, I'm really grounding into that. So, I'll be wearing my white the next 4 days because
Hmm.
that just is a reminder of me to stay in peace no matter what's going on, just have my inner peace. I also am going to be doing a 72-hour water fast. So, I'll start that
Hmm.
tomorrow. I am going to go to the water today. So we're right off of the Chesapeake Bay, so we have waters and rivers around us. So I'm going to go to the water, make a offering there, and then just remind myself what my goals are. So this is perfect because we're getting ready for Bali.
Hmm.
And I've really been in a deep meditative space as we curate the experience for the sisters who are going to be joining us doing this work together in Bali. And that's what I'm doing. I am my heart is open. It's open to love.
Hmm.
My head and heart are in alignment. I I'm leading with love.
Hmm.
Leading with love. That's what I'm
Ashe.
doing. Yes.
Well, I feel complete. How are you? Anything else we need to?
I feel complete. I want to encourage people to honor the solstice your way. Figure out how you want to get clear in your body. It's a really good time to eat clean, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a good time to get clear because the energy is supporting you in this. It's a good time to renew. So
Yeah.
as you do this, and on Goddess Gathering, we meet on Thursday, on actually the solstice day. So we'll be doing a ritual together with ladies on Thursday. So just get clear in yourself. Figure out what you want to do and just ritualize that when you do it with intention. So do it your way and know that it's powerful and know that the effect is happening. So I want to encourage folks to join us in honoring this sacred season. It's a sacred
Mm-hmm.
time
Mm-hmm.
to supercharge your power.
Ashe.
Ashe, ashe, ashe. So this, I think is a wrap.
Yeah, I think
This,
so too. Thank you
yes,
so
this
much.
is good. Yes. So summer solstice soul talk. We love you. We appreciate you. Please join Monique and I at Follow the Sun, Goddess Technology, 13
Mhm.
Moons, all the stuff we do. Belly Dancers of Color Collective. We dance it out. We
Yes.
shout it out. We sing it out. We praise
Yeah.
it out. And then we get it in and we go higher. So that's
Mhm.
what we're about. That's what we're doing. Let's see if anyone has any comments. How are any of you guys honoring the solstice? Anybody who's on, if you want to comment now, you can put it on the post later. Hopefully this post will post on IG. If not, it'll be on YouTube. You can see it on YouTube and catch it on our streaming services. So no, there aren't any questions now, but honor this time, y'all. Honor this powerful time and supercharge your life. That's what we're all about.
Mhm. Peace
Love
and
you, girl.
blessings. I love you too. I'll
All
talk to
righty. We're out of here and we're out.